What is good, everybody? I am back with a brand new video, and today we are going to be discussing why you need an overstable putt and approach disc in your bag. First off, what is a putt and approach disc? Is that a putter? Is that mid-range? Well, to be honest, it's pretty much a hybrid of the two. It's a much slower disc, like a putter, but typically people can really rip on them and they have a lot of stability not to flip over like a putter would. Now, if you've been to the channel, you know I am a strong believer and I'm very biased toward the Discraft Zone, and this is the one that I actually bag and throw all over the course. Of course, there's others from other companies like the End of a Pig and the West Side Harp. I have not actually thrown either of these two, but I do know they're overstable. And if you've seen Ricky Wysocki, you know that he can crush on pigs. And, well, unfortunately not anymore. Rip to Innova. But you probably know the pig is a staple in a lot of disc golfers' bag. Now, why do you actually need one? I really believe that putt and approach discs are very versatile, especially in wooded courses or even wide open courses. The stability on them can typically handle any sort of headwind, so you always know that the disc is gonna finish right where you want it to. As well as if you're stuck in the woods and you're really deep into the thick stuff, to be able to throw a disc on Annie and watch it pan out in a pretty short distance is a wonderful thing to have in the bag. Let alone you can rip on them just like a mid-range. It's probably not gonna go as far as a mid-range, so that means you can just pull this out instead of lightening up on a mid-range where maybe you're not gonna have the same timing because you're really trying to finesse the disc. Typically, I use the Discraft Zone just like a mid-range though. Personally, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I do not like throwing mid-ranges. With the stability of this, most of my upshots are forehand. If you are a forehand dominant player, I think to have a zone or something like a zone or a pig is huge because it's way easier, in my opinion, to flick something like a zone than it is the putter. A putter takes a lot more touch, and that is something you should learn throughout your game. But I do think to have something where you don't have to really give it a whole lot of touch, but you know right where it's gonna go versus a putter that could flip over, could wobble a lot, whatever it may be, a zone will honestly kind of fix for you. Which is why a lot of people, or I've at least heard it from buddies and online, some people say that the zone is kind of a cheater disc. Because of that stability, it will fix a lot of forehand mistakes, at least when you're beginning, and even me to the day. My forehands still come out wobbly, especially with slower speed discs. So to have something that is going to be able to correct that is a great thing to have in the bag. Something I need to work on for sure, and something that you guys, if that happens to you, should work on. But to have something in the bag that will actually fix that mistake 80% of the time is something great to have. As far as putt and approach disc, you're really not gonna actually be putting these things. I have seen people putt with zones in a severe headwind because that stability will kind of fight the wind, like I said before. But you're typically not gonna be throwing these things because it's more gonna be like a hybrid disc, something where your putter isn't gonna reach it, but your mid-range is gonna be too far. You're gonna wanna rely on something like a zone, something like a pig. You might be thinking, if it's really stable, will that actually work? Maybe I should just throw a putter. And you're right, whatever situation, you might want to throw a putter so that you don't get that hard fade like a zone's gonna do. Since it is a slow speed disc, you're not gonna have to worry about a skip. But if you are worried, the zone comes in different plastics. This is the same mold, this is a zone, but it's in jawbreaker plastic. So it comes out as a more straight disc, and actually this one is pretty beat in, and I will get a little bit of turn out of it. So if you're looking for something more straight but still gonna have somewhat of stability, you could always get a zone in jawbreaker plastic. I don't know about these other two discs like the pig and the harp if it becomes more of a straighter disc, but for sure I always bag a jawbreaker zone for something more straight, and also an ESP zone. The ESP zone is a very stable disc, and it's just about as stable as the Z-Line zone that I used to bag. Anyway guys, I highly recommend that you bag a more stable putt and approach disc. It can help you dial in a distance that maybe your mid-range or your putters aren't going to be able to achieve without having to finesse the disc. Let me know down in the comments, do you bag a putt and approach disc, or do you just have mid-ranges straight to putters? That is all I have for you guys today. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Go follow ChasinChains_ on Instagram where I post there daily, and we'll see you in the next one.